What's up, Culture Junkie Nation? It's your boy Kenshiro. We're back with another great episode of Culture Junkies Live. We got an amazing show in store for you today. You know, it's tough being a nerd, especially when you want to find companionship, and sometimes when you're a nerd, it's kind of slim pickings to find one that kind of measures in the same wavelength. You know, God always they say God has said that you should have your partner be equally yoked for you, but sometimes it just doesn't happen that way. So we're talking to the partners of culture junkies like us who happen to not quite be as much into the things that we're into, and kind of seeing, you know, what life is like for them on the other side. It's Junkies Group Therapy.
He's beginning,
and we're happy to have on the show with us today a couple of better halves.
What is he doing?
One of which you already know. So I'll go ahead and get some introductions out of the way. Obviously, sitting right next to me as always, in the green shirt is the great Adakuji.
Yeah, it'd be me, the great Adakuji here, and I am wearing a green shirt, just so you know, because some people out there maybe colorblind might not be able to see it, so we're just going to make sure that you know what we're talking about. Okay.
And sitting across from him is his lovely wife, the super proud casual herself, Adobe Girl.
Hey, well, yeah, I'm a filthy casual. He got green, I got red.
I didn't say
guess
filthy.
Okay.
That's you.
Hey.
I didn't say filthy. I just said proud casual fan. That's all. And the man of the 1,000 digital voices sitting next to her, an avid collector, GQ.
USDA Choice Trimmed Tri-Tip Roast is on sale at Ralph's.
That was really long-winded. That was really, really long-winded. And from remote, we got Miss Lori Calcaterra and her husband, Dominic. How are you guys doing today?
Doing great.
Thank you for being with us.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. It's our pleasure. So,
Saying hello also to Wolverine Solid X and the other Steve, who both re-upped their memberships.
Appreciate you.
2 years.
Yes, appreciate the both.
Wow.
Appreciate the both of you.
So appreciate you both.
Yes, indeed. If this is your first time watching Culture Junkies Live, thank you for choosing to spend the rest of your evening with us, or at least part of your evening with us. We're going to be entertaining you for the next hour. The first 45 minutes of such is going to be our main topics, and the last 15 minutes is dedicated to you, the people, in our Power is Yours segment. The follower girl over on my right shoulder is where we reward you, the viewers, with a gift from GQ's treasure chest. You might win a box set. You might win a collectible. You might win some comic books. Who knows? It's all up to GQ's whims, what you get. But the extra life meter that is over on my left shoulder is powered by our bits. And once we reach the goal, we will tack on an extra 15 minutes to the end of the Power is Yours. And you can trigger that goal actually twice. So without further ado, let's hit the ground running and run the gamut. So I don't know if you guys have heard. Mortal Kombat 30 it's the 30th anniversary, of Mortal Kombat. And to honor that anniversary, tomorrow is going to be the reveal of Mortal Kombat 30. I have no idea what it's going to be. Some have speculated that maybe it might be a complete reboot and refresh after the end of what happened in the last game. We'll have to see.
Well, excuse me. I tried to talk, spit tried to come up. I had to catch it with the mouth muscles.
That was way too much information. Please just get on with it.
It's not too much information. It's the reason why I'm making noise outside of talking. Yeah, Mortal Kombat is something, that we all love here, sitting here. I wait to see what's going on because out of all the fighting games, I think it has the best story. It has the best.
Yeah.
Because the ones that make. Yeah. Okay. It could be better movies, but when it comes to the story, I think it has.
You think?
No, most definitely could be better movies. So I await what they're going to do. I did not play Mortal Kombat 11, though I have it.
Of course.
It's just I want to know what's going on. So maybe one day I'll hop into it and see what's going on. And,
hell, just pull up a YouTube video and just watch it all.
I think
I've
done that already. But
you should just do that.
No, gamers have to game, so they actually have to play.
They've got a game.
Not only that,
I guess.
I hope it's a HD remake.
HD remake of the original?
The original 2.
But didn't they already do that with MK9 in a way?
No. I think he's talking about
true HD remake of the original game, and then if you want to, just throw part 2 in there.
the photorealistic, what you call it. Yeah, I think that'd be cool.
That would be interesting if they went back to doing mocap. Anyway, speaking of movies that could be better, Venom 3 has cast noted actor Chiwetel Ejiofor in an undisclosed role. So we know he was in the MCU as Baron Carl Mordo in
Hopefully
the Doctor Strange
Baron
movies.
Mordo.
So
yay!
don't know if he'll be. I don't know if he'll be Mordo in these films. Probably not, seeing as how these are Sony films. I have no idea who he's going to be. Like, Preem and I were talking about this out in the lobby in the waiting room earlier, but they have exhausted everything they possibly could do with Venom. The last thing they have is the King in Black, which would be crazy for them to do right now, but that's all they got. They've ran through almost all the other symbiotes. They completely wasted Carnage. So what else is there?
Brother Voodoo.
You gonna go from brother Mordo to Baron Voodoo? Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It'd be Brother Voodoo.
Okay. Sure.
It'd be random. It's right up Sony's alley.
Mm-hmm. Well, and the last little bit of news is let's hear it for superhero movie fatigue, huh? There is no such thing. I'm just saying there is no such thing. And the reason I say that is because Guardians of the Galaxy easily won the Mother's Day weekend box office. And to this point has amassed $530 million worldwide, which has already surpassed the entire worldwide cume of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. So superhero fatigue?
No,
I don't think so.
I think so. Sorry.
I don't think it's such thing as a superhero fatigue.
There's no such
Number
thing.
one, the powers that be told the internet talking heads to like this movie, because one of the things that I have observed is when somebody says, "Well, we're not supposed to like this movie," all of those who don't have brains go ahead and say we don't like it because this movie, the last movie, and the last movie before that all had the same formula. It did. It's the MCU formula. It was still there. But they love the Guardians of the Galaxy. So all the other stuff that I was hearing from those people, I think is BS, because that whole Marvel, whatever the heck they call it, it's still there. So this movie, it was a good movie. I also thought Ant-Man was a good movie. I also thought all the ones before then. I like Thor. I know everybody, I didn't like Thor because he was too jokey and blah blah blah. And I'm just like, oh, okay, and that's how he deals with freaking his grief and his trauma.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody deals with grief the same way. Not everybody gets off drunk and goes beat up people. Some people try to laugh it off, even though it's still hurting them on the inside. So I don't know.
Even if there is what you call superhero movie fatigue, let's just say nerds got money. So whatever, it doesn't matter. But I do know for my friends who are not exactly into the pop culture, they complain a little, but I mean, entertainment is entertainment. So as long as the money comes in, I guess that's what we're gonna get. What you call it? Marcus864 said something about what about fast fatigue? What number are they on now? 10?
10. But then it's gonna be 10-1, 10-2, and 10-3.
Yep. They're on 614.
Yeah.
It's gonna be.
I'm looking forward to it. That's gonna be a fun movie.
Really?
They usually always are.
Absolutely. Because the thing is, here's where I like the fast, and I know this isn't a topic, but here's where I like the fast movies. They are movies that legitimately had no reason to have gotten this far at all.
Didn't they launch a car in
they
space?
Started.
Yeah.
They launched a car in
100%.
space.
Considering where they started. Yeah, but
Yeah,
the thing is, they went to space because everybody made a meme out of it. They were just like, you know what? They're like, you know what? Why not? We're going to do it. And
we're
they
just
did
going to do
So
it
I'm
just
like,
to do it, right?
I'm like, dude, I respect that.
Yeah.
Because how many other franchises can you say that will take a risk that way out of left field and still make as much money as these movies make?
I mean, kind of like doing a Tarzan swing with a car off of a cliff.
Yeah, sure, why not?
They do whatever they want to do, and their movies are still successful.
Big dumb stunts.
Yeah, absolutely. They are
I was like, I'm
legitimately.
still waiting for them to cross over into like Jurassic Park.
I'd be fine with that too. whatever they want to do, because the thing is, it goes to show this is something that we get, and this has actually been a problem with video games and movies for a very long time. Yes, these are sequels, but the fact that they are doing stuff that is super risky, like if you really look at it, these movies are risky, and why are they still making money?
Nerds got money. Nerds got money.
This is not. This goes completely against what studios expect to be successful, and they work.
Yeah.
So I have nothing but respect for that.
It's crazy because the first movie was literally a remake of Point Break. It was the same freaking plot, 100%. Instead of surfers, they were freaking, it was street racing.
Yeah, street racing.
I'm for experimentation. I mean, maybe the YouTube social media era has taught traditional media to take a couple of risks. If that means launching a car in space, I'm for it.
Absolutely. The only thing I'll take exception to is you saying it won the Mother's Day weekend. Like, has there ever been a real big Mother's Day weekend release?
Don't put me on the spot and ask me that question. I don't know.
You said it.
It was Mother's Day last weekend. It's the Mother's Day weekend.
You put keys to screen and said that this is the Mother's Day weekend.
But it was You know what? I'm not doing this with you.
Yep.
Anyway, that's the end of Run the Gamut, people. We can talk about this and more in the Power is Yours segment later on. But first, let's get to our main topics. So, as I alluded to in the show open, the other halves in some of our lives have probably had to put up with some pretty quirky personalities. Let's be honest. I mean, so today let's meet a few of the better halves of our Junkie Nation family. Obviously, one of whom you already know, Dope Girl, who fills in sometimes as producer in the show.
They know Lori too.
No, you mean significant others.
I'm just saying you're on the show all the time.
Oh, yeah, anyway, yeah.
So, for most of you that don't know out there, obviously, Adobe Girl is married to the great Dadakuji.
That's my husband. Yes.
Yeah. For better or worse, they've been together for
ever.
They've been together for like 20 years. They've been married for almost 10 of them, as Adobe Girl will.
Almost 10. It'd be 12.
Okay, it would be 12. Okay, excuse me. Adobe Girl will never let me live it down that I sung at her wedding.
Yes,
you should have saw the face of Dadakuji's brother when she saw. He was like. He's like, kid sings. Yeah, it was funny. It was funny. Anyway, we're not here to talk about Adobe Girl. Well, we are. We're going to get to her in a minute. But, let's let Lori introduce her husband, Dominic, and tell their story.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm Lori. Just kidding. You guys know who I am. This is my better half, Dominic. We met in 2003.
December 2003. Yeah.
And then we dated for a couple years and then got married in 2005.
That's right.
And he puts up with my nerdiness and my over attention to detail when it comes to small things in movies. And but he's a nerd as well, just the different kind of nerd. Like, we both enjoy comic books, we both enjoy movies, horror, but he's much more of like a gamer and collector than I am. I don't usually collect many things besides like comic books, but he loves like baseball cards, and he got our girls into collecting Pokemon cards. So that's something that they can do together, which I think is cool, that they can do that with dad. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, we get along. He just, he's supportive when I do my comic book thing. That's one of the hardest things he has to put up with, where it's like, we don't see each other when I'm crowdfunding. It's like he works during the day, and then a lot of times I'm doing interviews at night. So, we're running around constantly busy.
Almost like two ships passing in the night kind of deal.
Mm-hmm. Just while I'm doing the Kickstarter campaign, it's hard because it's a lot of, it's a lot of product, it's a lot of marketing while it's going on to make sure we're successful. But other than that, the only other thing I think he really doesn't like putting up with me is like going to the movies together when it's like a super sci-fi or action, and I'm like, yeah, like in the theater, and he's like, I don't know this lady. Good times. I think in Kill Bill, you were like, when I was laughing when she chopped off the French lady's arm.
He was weirded out.
Wow. Yeah, I think I laughed at that scene too.
I thought it was hilarious.
No, that's
awesome.
awesome.
Blood
That's
all over the
awesome.
place.
I love that.
It's like, her face look. And the blood just goes all over.
No, that's awesome. I love that.
All right.
I love that.
Hey, I give.
He was like, nope, because I was the only one laughing at that point in the theater.
What was the name of that movie that everybody was scared at? With the stupid fucking. They were in the bed. The first one, they grabbed the person and pulled him out of the room. They showed it in the trailer.
Paranormal Activity.
Yeah, I was the only one in the theater laughing at that movie. Laughing my ass off at that
Like you're
movie.
a psychopath. What are you doing?
Apparently I am. Because that movie was funny.
Yeah.
And I was like, huh, that's not funny.
Okay.
Anyway, sorry to interrupt.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But no, we wanted to ask, the other halves of, the Culture Junkies kind of speak to kind of I don't want to say, what are some of the things they have to deal with when putting up with other people's personalities? So like with Adobe Girl and Dido, I've known them since they first got together, number of years. So one of the things I always wanted to ask, and I don't know if I've ever actually asked you this.
Okay.
But how big of a geek is he in your view?
Okay. All right.
Don't hold nothing back. Bob.
I'm not gonna hold back.
Okay?
I'm not gonna hold back. See, when I met Darian, right? I mean Dido.
I mean, just
yeah.
damn.
So like when I met Dido, I just dox you. Let's hear.
Anyway, go ahead.
When I you know how some people can go to a mall but they go to two different stores, right? Yeah. So we go to the same arcade. I'm a nerd in my own right, but it's kind of like we just like different things. So if he was in fighting games, he has a high aptitude for fighting games and stuff. I mean, I can play fighting games, but I'm mostly button mashing. I don't know what I'm doing. But what I do know what I'm doing is the foot dance game, DDR. Yeah, I was that person. I was that person fixated on the arrows and just like, drool going down, just trying to read it.
Wait a minute, what?
Yeah, Dance Dance Revolution. I was that nerd.
No, wait, no, the drool going now. What is that?
Sometimes if the song is too hard, you can't stop. You just have to read.
So you drool?
A little bit.
Foaming at the mouth, more likely.
Yeah, just a little bit. No, but like, no, dude. So, in terms of movies, in terms of video games, oh my gosh, in terms of video games, if he's like at a 90, I'm probably at like a 2% because I literally, when I play a video game, I'm so monogamous, y'all. I'm so monogamous when it comes to video games.
Yep.
Oh yeah. She
so
doesn't
for
cheat on her
several
video games.
years, I only played Dance Dance Revolution. You couldn't put another game in front of me. Now, the only game I play, literally, it's the only game on my phone is Brawl Stars.
So
I've literally
in the history that I've known you, first it was DDR, right?
Yeah.
Then it was Lumines.
No, Luminous.
Luminous. Yes, I'm actually good at that game.
Luminous, yeah.
Come at me.
She was stuck on Luminous like forever. And she was good.
She was
really good too.
Ingress for a long time.
Yeah, she was playing Ingress for a long time.
Okay, for those who played, you mentioned Pokemon Go.
Yep.
Before Pokemon Go, Niantic, the company that made the maps, that was spun off with Google, they made Ingress, right?
Yeah.
Same Pokemon stops. It's the same map, right? Ingress is the same map. I used to play that game so diligently, I'd get pulled over frequently because the thing is at a church. I'd be at night at a church trying to get to the station or whatever, and then the cop would pull up like, "Ma'am, what are you doing here?" I'm like, Hold on. Like, wait a minute. Let me get this portal. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, but we got a couple of supporters. So Amarak, wishes he could be back in Ingress, and Mrs. Amarak, I guess apparently thought it was good too.
Oh man,
and Sam
we gotta play
thought,
when I see you.
DDR is still, the great. Sam Taro's here.
I want to
try
to get her some metal pads.
I see it. So
what? I'm sorry. Are you saying what?
I was trying to get her some metal pads so she can get back into the DDR. I don't particularly play DDR, but I would play with her.
Like, cause all my money went to the DDR machine.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But like, I was skinny. I had a chin, I had a jawline. It was
easy
great.
to find. Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So
I remember when they first came out, it was like, that's kind of cool, but I don't play the game enough to really justify it.
And this one, is more of a generic, and I can ask this to Dominic. Does Lori's love of pop culture lead to some awkward feelings of confusion as to why she loves these things? Like, is there some certain things that she loves that she's super into that you just are just like, why are you into this? Like, no, for real. Like, why are you into this?
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, that's a great one. I have to think about that, but yeah, for 100%. And I like the kind of the ranking scale where you talk about it based on 100 points. And I'm a super nerd myself, but I'm more of like a 40 or 50. Lori's definitely at a 90 plus. And whenever
Love it.
she gets into something all the way. She's invested. And it's not, we're into a lot of the same things, but it's almost like with Game of Thrones or with The Hobbit or anything like that, she'll know canon for like the past 1,500 years. And she'll discuss in great detail all the characters, their story, their family lines, what they've done. And it's just
It's super interesting. I love it.
I love it.
It's
I love it.
It's super
like
interesting.
how, so it's from that perspective, it's different. But I've grown to love it. So.
Okay.
So
respect.
is it one of those things every now and again you kind of find yourself to saying, I just want to sit down and watch this and just that be the end of it? Like, I don't want to necessarily know why this character likes this particular whatever. You just want to kind of just sit there and then just enjoy it for
kind of check
what
out.
it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everything I've watched with her since, we said we've been together since 2004. So yes. And then one thing she also does is we're movie geeks too, and she'll really kind of be able to. She'll see. You know what? I think I know exactly how this is going to end.
Oh no! Yeah, Dido does that. Dido does that all the time. I'll show him something I'm into, and he's like, "I already know." I'm like, "No, you don't know. Watch it with me. You're gonna watch it with me."
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yep. She'll throw it out there, and it'll be like,
I'll be like, he did it, and then he'll be like,
she
what?
She was right. Something I never would have thought of. So, oh yeah.
Does that ruin it for you, or you just come to
It
expect?
doesn't necessarily ruin it for me. I guess I love horrible movies. I'm not really like, too critical of movies, so I'll watch it even if I know the ending. But there are times where I'm really like, I really kind of wish I would have been able to figure that out for myself.
Yeah.
That's fair.
It's an interesting dynamic.
Okay.
That's fair.
Most recently, there was a show because I work a lot. I go to school, and we do this too. So I don't have time for anything. But there was a show. Beef. I don't know if you guys saw that show.
Yep.
I'm a little biased. They're Asian. Yeah, I watched it. But anyway, it was a good show. And Daito here was like, yeah, XYZ is gonna happen. I'm like, hey, wait, just watch it. Yeah, because he can see it a mile away. You guys.
I think it's a byproduct of us consuming way too much media. We kind of just can pick up on story beats way faster than other people. And yeah, some of us are better than others about like keeping our mouths shut and just saying, "Oh, I know what's going to happen." Like, here's what's about to happen. It happens, but anyway. So this is actually for you, and this one's for you. So
okay,
and I want you to be 100% honest.
I'll try.
So please be honest, because I know the type of person you are. You're very sympathetic and empathetic, and you love kind of like going along to get along. But is there certain things?
Okay.
Is there certain things that are in his fandom that he absolutely loves, and it just irks your soul that you just can't stand it?
You're gonna hate this question. I mean, you're gonna hate this answer to your question, Kenshiro. Despite me being like pro-Asian about a lot of stuff, I can't stand a lot of anime. I really can't. I really can't stand it. Like it has to be good, really good for me to watch it.
Where's the traitor sound effect here? I need that.
Yeah. You triggered. So like a lot of times, if he's watching anime, and I know what's that one that's gone for like 1,000.
One Piece.
One Piece.
People who don't like One Piece have commitment issues.
Really? You're saying that?
If you can commit to 1,000 episodes, you are definitely somebody who can commit. If you can't watch it, it's too long. You got commitment
you see
issues.
this? He's using his love as One Piece is saying is like, I'm a loyal husband. I can commit. When I start something, I'm gonna finish it.
So that's why it's okay. But for a lot of anime, I'll sit down, I'll watch it, I'm like, oh, this is dumb, and then I'll go. So like,
really? Like, give me one. Give me one. Can you name one? Like that's outside of One Piece, is there anything else that's
dumb?
You just like dumb? You're just like, okay, this is stupid. Why do you like this? I can just tell
you what I like because I don't remember the dumb stuff. I remember the good stuff.
Yep.
So I only know the few ones that I like that I really like.
I can name them.
Okay,
the
go
ones
ahead.
that
name
she
them.
hates.
Food Wars. No,
it's
that
good.
she likes.
These are good
Food
ones.
Wars. Dorohedoro. She
Yeah,
likes
that
that
was
one.
a good
She
one.
likes Chainsaw Man.
Yes,
She
that's a good
liked
one.
One Punch Man.
Yeah, the One Punch Man was good first season.
Mhm.
Really good. But a lot of the other ones, I just don't take time to hate on them. So like, if I watch, I'm like, I don't feel it. I'll just get up and walk away.
Okay.
And that's a vast majority of a lot of them. I'm sorry.
But
It has to be,
but that irks you that he's into it that much? Is it like, it's like, why do you like this? Like, this is so freaking dumb.
No, not that it's dumb.
No? Okay.
Not that it's dumb, but maybe it's a little bit of jealousy because like my family background is we're Filipino, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like we've been together forever, and he doesn't really know Filipino.
That's not true.
We in Japan, dude. It was like
I didn't know Japan either. You were the one who was like, I took 4 years of Japanese.
Yeah, I took 4 years of
I
Japanese.
don't speak Japanese.
But I can't pick it up. So we had a.
Hindi masyado nakakaintindi ako ng Tagalog.
That's the phrase that you know. That's the only phrase you know.
Oh, man, she called him out. Dominic, is there anything like that Lori is just super into that you're just like, why? Like, really, why?
I know there is. I'm 100%, but you might have to help me with that because we align on a lot of things, and there's got to be something that I complain about that I call you out on, and I'm trying to think. I've been trying to think through this whole time what it's. I know some of it's music. We don't align on some of the music that you like.
I get it.
Some more of the what was it like the Skrillex and the Daft Punk and all and that like that.
Wait. Are you not into house music? Is that what you're saying?
Well, she's
Skrillex is not house.
Yes,
Skrillex is definitely not.
well, you're from Michigan. You got robot ears, so I expect that of Lori.
I expect that from Lori.
Ears.
Like, she's from up here, so I get it.
Robot ears.
Right.
Ears. We have the electronic music. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, that's
Oh,
right.
never
He's from
mind.
Michigan too.
I can't say
All right,
anything.
then,
I take that
okay,
back.
I don't get it. So
Okay,
anyway.
well,
yeah.
It's just not his thing. I don't know. I don't think there's any one thing that you're annoyed by.
Ah, gosh, yeah, probably some very specific,
I think it's mostly like
comics or
a lot of the martial art movies where I'm like this and that and this, and he's just like, I don't care. It's a lot of I think more martial arts where I'm like, and then this was so cool, and then we're talking about like technique, and he's just like,
Really? Like way over the head. I just don't care.
And then does something else.
it's just generally her approach to some things. I would just say, like it's just different. It's not like I don't.
What does that mean?
Like you just described, like when you're laughing in the movie theater about somebody getting their head chopped off or something, or a car accident. It's like, okay, I love the movie, but not in that way. I don't know if that makes sense. But.
It's almost like he's saying you just get way too into it. Like,
that's okay.
So, and that's okay.
It's okay.
That's certain
It's not
things
my
I
thing.
do, and like it's hard because at least he understands most of it. But like when I'm with like a group of ladies in the neighborhood,
oh, yeah,
nope.
yeah.
I'm like, I'll just shut up.
Okay. Right.
I have a question.
Yeah,
that
please.
will probably help put perspective for this with me. Dominic, what's your favorite movie? And Lori, what's your all-time favorite movie?
I like it.
Ooh, let's see. There's a couple that I really actually like Shawshank Redemption a lot.
That's a good movie,
It's an
yeah.
amazing movie.
Amazing.
Just
All right.
the ending is great. And then what's the one with the frog guy and the palm, the kind of the funny martial art movie?
Oh,
Kung Fu Hustle.
Kung Fu Hustle. I really like that movie a lot. Yeah.
Okay. And then Lori.
The Matrix.
Okay. So you guys are on the same wavelength, just on kind of slightly, as far as the martial arts go, similar wavelength, but I'm 100% with you on Shawshank. Shawshank is one of those movies that if it's on TV,
It's a really good movie.
I'm going to watch it no matter which part it's at, even if I've seen it. I've seen a movie a million times.
Right.
I will sit down and watch that movie anytime it's on. It's that good.
Oh, yeah.
So I get where you're coming from, at least with that respect, and that kind of answers the question. Like, Matrix is a whole different headspace than Shawshank, obviously.
Right.
It sounds like you both like Kung Fu Hustle.
Yeah. Speaking of Kung Fu Hustle, my go-to costume is that landlord lady. Every year, I don't care.
Yes.
I dress up curlers and a muumuu. That's the easiest costume.
No, she does an amazing job at that cosplay. That was hilarious. That Halloween.
Do it. You need the curlers in your hair in a net.
Yes.
We got to find that picture. Throw it on the Instagram.
Yeah,
because she did, and
it's almost every year. It's like my go-to costume.
Yeah.
And people forget that movie, like, oh, Angry Grandma. I'm like, yeah. Yeah, for Halloween. Yeah.
To answer somebody in the chat, Hannah Omega, am I trying to spread discord amongst the couples? No, I'm asking the real hard-hitting questions. This is journalistic integrity at its finest. That's all. I promise you.
Right.
Don't look at me like that. I promise you. That's it.
Okay, sure.
No, it's the truth. It's the truth. And I'm loving the answers, by the way. I am. So we're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna hit the Patreon, roll in, thank some of our patrons that support us, and we will be right back.
The entire Culture Junkies crew would like to thank you for tuning into our programming. We hope you are enjoying our content as much as we enjoy making it. One thing that helps us continue bringing you our unique content is viewer support. By visiting the Culture Junkies Patreon page, you will have the opportunity to select the support level that works best for you. Not only will your support help keep the Culture Junkie Nation growing, but you will make yourself eligible to receive patron-exclusive swag. Please take a moment to consider supporting us and join the ranks of the supporters you see listed on the screen. We would like to also give a special shout out to our Culture Junkies level and above patrons: DeMarcus Smith, Fab Nerd Life, Nanette, The Other Steve, and Black Crowned Knight. Remember, for as little as $1 a month, you can support a Culture Junkie. Thank you.
All right, so we want to thank all of our patrons for support. If you do want to, become a Culture Junkie patron, it really is just $1. Head over to patreon.com/Culture Junkies. Sign up today. All right, so getting back to some of these hard-hitting questions, just really wanting to get to know the other halves. I already asked the Double Girl a question in something that I've always wondered, even though I've known her for like 20 years. But this one's for Dominic and Lori.
Okay.
So when you two were first starting to date, Lori, you were already kind of like super into your stuff. Dominic, you were already super into your stuff. You're feeling each other out. Did you kind of need to like hide a little bit of your fandom?
I'd say tone it down.
Oh, tone it down. There you go. Tone it down, and kind of present put your best face forward a little bit.
I think I did in the beginning. I don't know. I probably for like a week.
Damn, that's like a quick record.
A week? I can't stop it. It's just, it's part of who I am. So it's like you could pretend to be someone else, but why? If you want to date someone and you want them to like you for who you are, maybe don't like start that conversation about the 7,000 things that you want to watch on anime that first date. But I mean, eventually you want to be your true self. So that way, if that's like a hard pass, it's like, get rid of it from the beginning,
That's true.
So I think I've always been pretty true to myself. I think in the beginning, though, I don't go full nerd. I mean, I don't think we saw too many nerd things together in the beginning, but like if we were seeing movies together, I'd be like, let's see this, like, oh, let's go see a zombie movie, or let's see, a sci-fi movie. He's like, don't you want to see like The Notebook? And I'm like, no.
Have you guys been to a convention together or anything like that?
I don't remember that one.
My point is it's like, you don't like chick flicks? No, I don't want to watch Hallmark Channel. That's not me.
Oh, that's me.
Like,
nice.
I'm kind of into that stuff.
So was it the same for? So Dido, this you and the Double Girl was the same, kind of the same deal. Did you like kind of like? You kind of met through mutual, friend circles. So she kind of already knew you were a bit of a nerd.
I didn't
back
tone
then.
nothing down. I have never toned anybody down. Everybody knows who the heck I am. I mean, I got in trouble for bringing a Game Boy Advance to a friggin'
dinner party.
It wasn't even a dinner party. We were at a restaurant
and didn't talk. Yes.
Yeah, I didn't talk to anybody because I didn't know anybody, and I'm not that type of person.
I'm sorry. Was this a dinner party for like your family?
No, it was friends. It was like 5 of us. It was a hookah. I think we did a hookah place or something.
No, it was
not
a sushi
different
place.
Sushi place. Okay, but this Mr. Shy Guy was on his DS.
It wasn't a DS,
his Game Boy.
The Game Boy Advance SP.
He must not been there.
Specific with it right now.
He was just playing it silently in the corner. I was like, yeah, that's the only time we kind of. Well, not the only time. That's one of the memorable moments of me going, man, you could have just played that.
Yeah, but she wanted me to talk to people. She's the extrovert. I'm not. I'm the introvert. And I will talk to you about video games, anime, all that stuff. But if you want me to sit there and talk about sports, I play sports, and those sports, it's the same shit every year. Not like players, but they play the games, they win the games, they lose the games. I don't want to predict what the heck is going on. I don't give a shit in that aspect. I care about the stuff that I personally do, and me playing a video game is me personally do it, or us sharing an experience about a movie, or us sharing an experience about something else. But to sit there to talk about the weather, sports, things that I have no control over, like, what? Okay.
Okay, sweetheart. Back then, I was on a budget, and if I knew you were just going to be on your
No, I came
Game
there
Boy?
to eat.
I would have left your ass at home.
I would have left your ass out when we had more sushi.
We
I could have
ate.
ordered more sushi for myself.
Look, I wanted to eat. I go to restaurants to also eat. But like the thing is, it's like it's difficult for me to freaking connect to somebody about normie stuff. Because normie stuff, man, there's so many of those out there, man. I just can't
So,
do it.
Kishiro, this is how we
Wow,
had
I
to
love
break
this.
it down. I
Yeah,
said,
go
if you're
ahead.
coming
Go
to
ahead.
dinner with a bunch of people who are quote unquote normies, okay?
Such an insult.
It is. It's a little condescending, dear. Okay. So like you leave your gaming device at home,
No.
or well, this is one thing. When
It was before cell phones.
Okay,
Like,
before
not,
cell-
excuse me.
okay,
Before
let me
these type of
all
cell
right.
phones.
So with a bunch of friends and I, what we agree to do. This is something I wish I knew back then. We'll put our phones in the middle of the table, and the first person to reach for their phone is buying dessert for everybody. So that's how we stay present. Let me just say that night, this dude was not present. So that's why we got a little argument.
Nobody was
Yeah.
talking to me,
Yeah.
and I'm
yeah.
not the one to strike up a conversation like that. I'm sorry.
I had my face full of sushi. I'm sorry. Anyway.
No, I'm just
So,
not.
like-
if I'm gonna feel like I'm being ignored, I'm just gonna be in
You
my
weren't
own
being
world.
ignored. I was trying to make eye contact with you. I was eating with you like, say something.
What am I gonna say?
This is a sitcom.
This food is delicious.
waiting to happen.
This is great.
Don't you guys like this food? Yes, I like this food. Yes, I like this food. Okay, what did you have? Oh, you had the sushi. I had the sushi. Like,
What the hell is that?
hell, the
Look,
normies
look,
talking
look,
about.
look,
This
look,
is
look.
legitimately a sitcom.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
This is
So
great.
Let
This
me,
is great. Go ahead.
let me,
Go
let me
ahead.
just say this, right? When we first met, the reason why what endeared me to Daito, right?
Yeah.
Is that he's not the only gamer person I dated, but the thing that stood out from the pack was one time I just wanted to like go for a walk or whatever, and he paused his game, and I was like,
And I
really?
still will.
You-
100%. Every game saves. Every game you can turn off. Well, I'm sorry. Back that up. I don't play the games that you can't save. I play games that I can
hate
stop.
Those games.
Like,
That was a big thing for us. I think at one point when we had like little babies, and
Mm.
he was playing like the online games that you can't
Oh,
pause.
you can't
Yeah,
pause.
that's me
Oh,
right
no.
now. I can't
Baby,
pause
I'm in the
Brawl
middle of a
Stars.
match. I can't stop now.
Yeah.
I can't
No.
pause Brawl Stars. I can't do
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
And now I'm doing the thing, and it's like, ooh, I hate these games.
Well,
Yeah.
he paused it, and we went for a walk, and I was like, wow, I'm worth pausing something for.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like I
Because
said,
he
it's
can-
still the
his
same.
option to pause.
I
Yeah,
will
yeah.
pause for you, baby.
Aw, I'll pause for you
Anytime
too.
I get,
I don't know if that's
I
a
will
really good
pause for
pickup
you,
line, but
baby.
okay. I'll pause my
I
game
don't know
for
if
you,
that's a
baby.
pickup line, but that's definitely.
I will
that's
save
not, it's
that
not necessarily a
cake,
pickup
baby.
line, but that's a shirt.
But
That's
yeah.
a shirt right there.
I'll pause
Yeah.
my game for you, baby.
I'll pause my
Yeah.
game for you, baby.
Yeah.
The only thing is, I can't. Okay, for Brawl Stars, I can't pause. But there's many
But
times
now
I
I'm
threw the
playing Brawl
game.
Stars.
I threw the game. Yeah, he plays
He's
Brawl
like, can you
Stars
play
with me.
Brawl Stars with me? And I'm like,
I turned 5.
need a controller.
I turned 5. I turned 5. I'm like, hon, can you please play Brawl Stars
Yep.
with me? And
Mhm.
he plays it with me. Yeah.
That's funny.
I know we need Preem to make those shirts. Where's Preem?
He's
Yeah.
out.
He's
He's out there.
He's out
He's
there.
actually,
Yeah,
but
He's out there.
out.
I'm sure he's watching.
No, he's
Yeah.
playing
Oh,
Zelda.
no.
Oh, he's playing Zelda.
Zelda's
He's
out.
playing
Oh,
Zelda.
he ain't paying no attention.
clearly
Yeah, he's
playing
playing
Zelda.
Zelda.
I would be playing Zelda, but you know, I'm here.
You're on the show.
You're here. You're on the show.
I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, sometimes he do be he acts like I don't see him, but he do be playing while the show's on. So I'm
Sometimes.
just saying that he do be addicted. So that story about you guys at the sushi, I could totally see it because he's doing it here. But
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah,
I digress.
Yeah.
So
Sorry, I'm in the conversation.
don't,
I'm in the conversation.
No, don't-
Hey,
yeah,
normies.
yeah, that's okay. No,
Yeah.
well, it's all good.
It tastes good.
It's
I
all
like
good.
water
Yeah.
too.
So,
Yeah.
so Lori said it took her a week to basically be herself.
Would you think that?
I knew pretty much right from the jump kind of what you were into because I think for the first, we used to look at those photo albums. I remember you had a picture of yourself in cosplay as Trinity. And you were always going on about how you like to go to the movie theater and cosplay. And like, I knew that you were invested in all this stuff. Super nerd, right for the jump, which I think that's really what drew me to you, was that you were different. I mean, you were
there you go. Okay. All right.
Musical. And I liked it. That's what I liked about it.
He just didn't know you were so much more than him. That's all.
That's right.
Yeah.
In every way.
That's okay.
Have you gone to the theater dressed up since you've met? I
Good
mean,
question.
obviously Lori does, but yeah.
Good question.
No, I haven't. I dressed up for. Have we dressed up? I don't think we have.
So you guys haven't done a couple's costumes?
Mr. and Mrs.
We
Incredible.
We do for Halloween.
She
Like
got
we
me to do
were.
it for Halloween. Yeah.
We were a family of Loki variants.
That's
That's
cool.
That's cool.
No, that's cool.
And it's so funny. Our neighbors had a blow up pool crocodile, so we had that on the roof of a golf cart. So we were going around the neighborhood dressed up as Lokis with the crocodile on the roof. So
Nice.
funny.
I want pictures.
Yeah, I want
Pictures,
pictures
man.
too. Yeah.
I'll send you pictures. Last year we were all Pokemon, so the girls and I were all Pikachus, and Dom was Ash, and he had Pokeballs that he was going to chuck at us.
Pull my anger out.
Cute.
It helped.
This year,
Love
we
Ash.
wanted to be
Ash Dad.
characters from Batman.
That's cute.
Because Katie has a Harley Quinn outfit, so Lila wants to be Joker, so we'll have to. You can be Batman this year.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Well, at least we're a
Batman to be
Batman.
Catwoman. Ooh.
Ooh, I'll have to buy a whip.
There you go.
Uh-oh.
Wait, I didn't say all that.
Wait a minute.
Couples
We're not
are
getting that
playing.
deep.
This is a family show. Come
Oh.
on now.
Yeah, hold on now.
But that's how families are made.
That's true.
That's true.
They already have a family.
Ain't no babies coming. Sorry.
Right.
No, don't do that.
Right.
I try to get Dido to dress up. I only got
I
it
have
once.
more than once.
Okay, what's the other one?
I was Finn from Adventure Time that one time.
That doesn't count. It was a t-shirt and a hat.
That's what Finn wears. Who wears?
Does not
He has a
count.
t-shirt.
He's
He has a
look,
backpack.
right.
He has his freaking hat. He got some shorts on. That's Finn. And I was also the Terminator that one time when I had the leather pants and the leather, what you call it, from Terminator 2.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
No, I remember that.
Was that during our time?
Making fun
Yes,
of
it
him for
was
the leather
during our
pants,
time.
'cause him and Big Pimp and Jay were both had leather pants.
Yeah, I don't dress up. That's not one of the nerdy parts I do because
Yeah, he doesn't dress up.
I personally am trying to be me, and I don't want to be anybody else at the moment. So because I want to be me, I don't want to pretend to be anybody else, and so I just can't dress up. So
I was happy one time. He actually dressed up with
it
me.
is lame, but whatever. I'm lame.
He had a mutton chops and the whole.
Yes, that is an
that was the other
picture.
side.
Yeah.
Where your aunt thought I looked like Michael Jackson
She
for
doesn't
some
have a
strange reason.
lot of
Jackson.
references. Please forgive her.
Hold on. You did, because I remember, because we went to the suit store to get that one suit for, was that, what was that though?
It was just like an old 70s.
It was like a 70s suit.
with the freaking butterfly collar.
That's what it was.
And I
Okay.
had the afro
Yeah.
and the mutton chops.
Okay.
And she
That boy
said
was-
I look
that
like
boy was
Michael
awesome.
Jackson.
Yeah, my aunt didn't have a lot of references. I am so.
And
I
I'm like, Michael
apologize.
Jackson.
You
On
dressed up
behalf
for
of my
80s
aunt's
party too.
ignorance.
Oh yeah,
I am-
and the '80s party that was
I remember
that was
all
your
of this
friend.
stuff,
Oh,
man.
Exactly.
yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
That was
There was an
straight up
80s party.
'80s. That's where we went
There was
shopping.
an
It was the
80s party. He had a tracksuit on. It was
I think I got pictures
It was-
of
yeah,
those.
I'll look for those.
Unfortunately, they're not set up.
Join our Discord
You know
for
what?
all these great pictures.
Indeed.
Yeah, we'll put it in Discord.
you
We'll
want
put
to
the
see the
pictures on Discord.
Instagram?
Yeah, we'll
maybe
put the
I'll throw them up on Instagram.
No, put on Discord. Put in Discord.
Before we get to the power is yours, I need to know this because I was actually going on the YouTube black hole of audience reaction videos. Did the two of you? I already know you two because you guys went to theater with me. I'm talking about Dominic and Laura.
Oh, okay.
Did the two of you end up going to either Infinity War or Endgame in the theater, like during premiere week? And what was that like if you did?
Premiere week.
I think we went to both. Yeah.
So was she insufferable or was it okay?
I may have blocked that one out mentally because
Wow.
There you go. I found the Finn picture. You can't tell me that.
It wasn't the movie itself. It was like after Infinity War, and we had to wait all that time. I'm sure I was like searching online for answers and looking for like leaked photos and this
in the car ride on the way home.
Yeah.
I remember it was just,
like I broke down the entire movie, and he's just like,
wow. He's like, look, I just saw a whole bunch of people turn into cigarette ash. I'm just trying to get some sleep once we get home.
right. Right, but I'm like, oh, but this is what I think is going to happen,
Yeah.
and this has to happen because this, and this is what Disney's releasing, and blah blah, and this actor, and blah blah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
So
wow.
I don't think it was the movies themselves. Like once we got to the movie, I just shut up because I wanted to see what they were going to do.
Mm-hmm.
But
It was
like,
analysis.
the whole period. I'm sure I drove him
the
crazy.
analysis. Yeah, I like that.
The paralysis of analysis.
That's fair.
That's a superpower. Yeah.
Yeah, that movie, though. Again, the only reason I use those is because, Dido's got something on his phone that he's trying.
Yeah,
to show.
as you guys can see, that you can kind of
That's
see it.
Finn.
That's Finn with Jake in my pocket.
If a
This is funny.
full-bearded Finn was
That's
to come at me.
Right.
I'm
the
just
only reason
saying,
I
I
picked
did
those
dress
two-
up, even though I don't
Yeah.
particularly care for dressing up, but I did it. I did it.
Yeah.
What you
he's
were
not
saying,
spoiled for it.
GQ? You were saying
No,
something.
I just picked those two movies because those are usually milestone movies for how like true diehard geeks act.
Mhm.
It's those two films.
Mhm.
And if you got to go to a movie with somebody that is not in that same level of fandom, you always feel the difference because it's just
Oh, speaking of difference, Lori and Dominic, how do you guys balance each other out? Like, let's say you're really into something and he's not really into something, or vice versa.
Great question.
How do you support each other in that?
You can do that without me. Go for it.
What?
Right? Where it's like he loves Pokemon cards, and I'm like, go ahead. I'm not gonna do it, but you go ahead and do it. You know what I mean? Because you like it. Then with the comic books, he's not nearly as nerdy as I am, so it's like, good job, keep going, do your thing. But I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with it. It's just trying to support in any way that I can because,
Yeah.
like I said, I admire the fact that she can create something and bring it out of her head and bring it into the real world. I admire that a lot. So just however I can support it and just try to be understanding. That's the best I can do.
Try to be understanding, because same thing, like the Pokemon cards and the collecting, I don't really get that at all, but I know that a lot of people like to do it, so I'm just supportive, like, hey, that's cool. Like there's a card show coming up, and it's like, hey, take Katie with you. That's great. The two of you can go and have like a bonding time. You know, I don't have to be involved in that for him to like it. You know.
Have you ever had that time where you had to go because he was busy?
I've gone.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking for comic books while I'm there.
He's like, I'm here. May as well look for some comics for myself.
Right.
Okay.
Well, that's how it was when I went to
Usually the card cons, it's like 90% cards, but there's always a table of comic books to go through.
Sure.
Always. So, it's just like, okay, you go look at your cards, and I'll be over here looking in this box to see if there's anything I want.
So here's the ultimate question, and we got to give it over to the people. Who wins when it's the battle of what movie to see?
He wins. I follow his lead. He doesn't steer me wrong. Like, for the most part, if it's a movie I really wanted to see or something I wanted to watch, it's usually comedy stuff. Like people's specials, I'll make him sit down for, like, hey, there's this new comic, I want to see him or her, and let's look at this. That's how I discovered. That's when I first found Ali Wong's Baby Cobra. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so good. And then I made him sit and watch it. And now if I see somebody, I'll have him sit and watch it. But when it comes to movies, he actually has a really good gauge on what may interest me. Like, hey, Ned, I think you'd like
for
this,
the most part, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Dominic and Lori, who usually wins that battle?
But I think we just had this conversation last weekend, and I can be pretty stubborn when it comes to what I want to see, what I want to listen to. So I think last weekend it was between Guardians of the Galaxy and Rise of the Evil Dead. I don't remember that.
Evil Dead
Evil Dead Rise.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and we ended up seeing nothing
We
because
saw nothing.
because kids.
Oh no!
Okay.
God,
Oh no!
Oh man.
Why?
But I probably would have pushed to see what I wanted to see because I'm a little bit stubborn. If I don't know if you agree with that, but
This is
we
where
try
I
to
stay
we
quiet.
try to compromise.
Okay.
All right.
Dang,
All
so you
right.
just couldn't come to any decision. Just didn't see anything at all.
So wait, so y'all couldn't even just flip a coin? Like,
That's a good idea.
Wow. Okay.
Okay.
I still need to see Evil Dead
I
Rise.
hear you.
I'm mad I haven't seen
Okay.
I
it.
hear you.
Yeah, I want to see it. I really do.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
wanted to see both of those. I
Yeah.
was like, okay, which one? Just pick one. And he was like, I want to Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, okay, well, let's go see Evil Dead Rise. I think it was the time that was weird.
Yeah.
It was like the time just didn't work with what we were trying to do. So I think that's why it was like, we'll try again another time.
Okay.
But,
Okay,
I
so-
was like, we really wanted to go see John Wick, but of course, time is over for that one
Right.
in the theater. But
Right.
we were being on in-laws. My in-laws just moved from Michigan to Texas, and now that they're settled, they can start watching the kids, and we can start going to see movies.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
now we
cool.
talking. Okay.
That's
Right?
nice.
All right.
So
Okay.
we're like, John Wick, right? And then
Okay.
of course
That'll
it's not there. So
Has there, and this is the last one, I promise. Has there ever been a situation where there's something you, Lori or Dominic, really wanted to see and the other did not, and you chose not to see it because you didn't want to go without them?
yeah, like last weekend. I typically don't go see movies by myself. I have when it's like I'm coming on a show and they're going to be talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
But we usually don't, like, if we're not together going to the movies, we usually don't. We'll wait for it to come out and stream and we'll watch it together. Or if it's something that I know he really doesn't want to see, then I'll wait for it to come and stream and I'll just watch it,
Mm-hmm.
on my own.
Okay.
Most of the movies that I know she doesn't want
But
to go
there
see,
are
I go
some
see
movies
them
where I'm
myself.
like,
You will?
The Matrix,
Okay.
the new one came out on HBO. I was like, sit down, we're going to watch this. And then I was so mad at it, but I was like, we're going to do this, we're going to watch it, right?
Yeah.
Whether we wanted to or not. Like Dune, when Dune came out, I was like, put the kids to bed. I don't care if it's 5 o'clock. The kids are going to bed. We're going to watch Dune.
Oh, wow.
Dune was
Okay.
awesome, too.
For that one too.
I liked it.
Yeah, Dune
I've
was
been
awesome.
surprised.
So good.
Quite a few times.
But I watched like all the iterations of Dune because I'm a big fan, and I think I know he wouldn't sit through the other ones.
The original one.
But that new one that came out, I was like, sit down, we're gonna watch Dune. I don't care if it's midnight. We're gonna stay up until 2 because we're gonna watch this.
D&D was actually pretty
But
good.
Dungeons and
yeah,
Dragons.
Yeah, Dungeons and Dragons was great.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
I said that was going to be it, and I keep my promises. So the power is yours, people.
hooray! The new Dune book. I don't know about that.
So I think what I got from this conversation is that you got to be really accepting of your partner. And I guess if you do have some kind of difference in interests, the more you are challenged or not challenged, but the more it calls for understanding. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah, because at one point, and I'm not as into bikes as I was before, but I was such a bicycling head, like the essential, the quintessential like hipster.
You? Are you sure?
Yeah, like
Not
every
you. No
every
way.
day of the
8
week.
or 9 bikes at the house?
Right.
Man,
You
I-
still got a whole bunch of.
Wait, I got 4 now. I used to have 9. I'm down to 4.
You got 4?
I have 4. Yes, I count your bike as one of mine. So
Wow.
What about that fold-up bike that's shoved in the corner?
okay, I have a fold-up bike. I have a road bike. I have the cruiser, and then I have your bike.
You have that Kiki's delivery service tricycle still?
No,
No,
we got rid
sold
of it.
that.
Okay.
I sold it. I had an adult tricycle thinking, my parents could use it. No one used it. It took up a lot of
I
space.
used it, but it was tough because it was what they call those bikes.
Adult bikes.
You always got to keep pedaling.
Oh, fixed gear?
Yeah,
mean a bike?
And no,
Right.
no. Because there's some bikes where you can coast,
I got you.
and some bikes where you can't. It's fixed gear, as you call it. It was
okay,
fixed
so,
gear.
Two extra
well,
wheels
that
on
was
the
a
back.
tough
All right,
Minority
got you,
Games is
question.
in the chat. He's upset that he missed it, but hey, man, better late than never. My wife doesn't watch nothing I like except novellas. So telenovelas is I
You like
assume
the
he's talking about.
actresses in those novellas. Just be real.
Oh, wow.
I know. We
But
know
does
how
he-
he gets down. So yeah, we know how it is. My wife, Guy Jordan says my wife will make me go see all the live action Disney movies, but won't watch the Star Wars movie. Now see, this is what we're talking about with the types of relationships where where one person is a nerd and the other one isn't, where it always seems like it's one-sided in those types of relationships, right?
Those normies,
Well,
man.
hold on.
Well,
Here's
first
how
off,
solve that.
if you call your
I'm not going
significant,
to the next live action Disney anything until you sit down and watch some of the Star Wars stuff that I want to watch.
So basically, he has to stand his ground and be like, "Hey, woman."
No,
I didn't say all that the way you say it.
no.
I didn't say
Never.
that.
You
That's
will
not gonna
never
work.
do
That's
a
not
reverse
gonna work. That's
Talk
not
to your
gonna
wife.
work.
Like, never.
Do not listen to this advice.
And
Yeah.
like, dear, would you please come and watch this movie with me?
Wait.
I mean,
Did you say
I've watched like
don't listen
10
to my
movies
advice?
of yours?
Yeah. Did you say don't listen to my advice?
Well, I mean,
No.
stand your ground, yes, but say it nicer. Don't say, "Hey, woman."
Here's
Hey, woman.
okay, or in Daito's, hey normie wife or whatever you want to call me.
Normie wife. I have never called you a normie wife.
No,
may
here's
have called you a
here's
You're not much of a normie.
well, yeah, because you guys okay. The stuff that I like, the nerd stuff that I like is on the fringe of the mainstream nerd stuff that I like. When I was so into Ingress, everyone's like, why don't you just play a game with a controller and stay home? I'm like, no, I want to go
I
outside.
thought Ingress
and
it was interesting when she was the
That's
first one to tell me about it, and I thought it was interesting.
An extrovert gamer.
Right.
Out of the house. I like to go outside of my
Dude,
house.
I walked like 10 miles one time just because I was so into that game. And I had to call Daito and be like, hon, can you pick me up? I
Yep.
can't walk back home.
Okay, hold on.
Oh.
All right, so Minority Game said we watch our baby.
We watch our baby together.
We'll watch our baby
Well, if
together.
the baby
Yeah.
can watch Star Wars, then,
Yeah,
via
there you
their
go.
That baby on the
baby.
couch. Make watch some Star Wars.
There you go.
Put that baby on the couch and
my
say,
biggest accomplishment in my life was dressing up our 2-year-old as an Ewok and sending her to daycare. That was awesome.
Oh, that's so cool.
So
That
cute.
was
Okay.
the
So
best
cute.
costume ever.
Okay.
So cute.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
and I made her like a little spear, because of course.
All right, people, what's going on out there? What does everybody kind of want to talk about?
Hey.
That's out there.
But the lady prefers Lord of the Rings. Okay, so here, actual advice no one asked for, but maybe this might help.
Unsolicited advice.
Unsolicited
Is
advice.
that what we're doing now?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right
The
now.
power is yours segment. Okay.
So let's say you just want your partner to just, do something with you that you really like. Well, you can. Well, this is what I had to do with Daito for a few things with biking. Okay, I'll apply this to biking because I really like biking. I said this exact sentence. I know this is normally my thing, and I'm so glad that you let me do my thing and you support me. But I want to do this with you. Can you just? It would mean a lot to me if we did this one thing together. Please. Please.
Yep, and I was there.
Yeah.
I was biking in the slow road with all her
But
friends.
listen to the way she packaged it, though.
Except
I
for she
get it, but
disappeared.
then usually that one thing becomes another thing, then another thing.
Then you're always just giving in, right? Like Guy
It's
Jordan
just
over there,
one
right?
thing.
He's
I
always
wouldn't always
going to
give
the
it.
Disney movies because he's afraid of
it was just
upsetting his wife. I'm
difficult
assuming,
because
right?
I would go to these biking events and I would get left behind, and I'm like,
Screw all that.
no, I would stay with the bike.
That's when you pull
Like,
out
if
the
you're
Game
gonna
Boy
bring
Advance
me out
SP.
here
There
to
you
fight,
go.
gotta
There you go.
Minority games.
Marcus 864 just want to say the Hornets got robbed last night. They didn't get robbed more than the Pistons did, man. Sorry. Just saying.
What was the score with the Pistons?
No, they
No,
weren't
it was the
playing.
draft lottery.
Oh, okay.
We had the worst record in the league. We had the best chances to get the number one pick.
Oh.
Tied for the best chances
So that
with two other teams, with the San Antonio Spurs and the Rockets. We drop all the way to 5.
Okay, here's my thing on that. And this is, I say this every single year you guys bring this up. Do not have the goal of being the worst team so you can get the first pick.
It's never a goal.
Dude.
It seems like it's a goal.
It's never a goal.
Detroit
Listen.
teams have been doing it forever, and it's silly.
That's just because they suck.
Listen, I wish I've been watching Ted Lasso as of late, and I don't know much about Premier or any of football, but one of the things they have this thing is I think it's called getting regulated. Now,
The cup system, right?
yeah, because you have like the Premier League, and if you don't do well, you get
You
dropped
drop down.
to
Yeah.
another league.
That's how it
I
should
think
be.
that's how it
Absolutely.
should be, because you
Absolutely.
would never do
And
anything
honestly,
on purpose to try to get a good pick. That ain't
If I'm
happening.
being 100% honest, I feel like the NBA is starting to move in that
They
direction
need to
because
do that.
they're going to start doing something called the in-season tournament. Now you have the play-in tournament to get into the playoffs at the end of the season. Now they're going to start to do like with these cups in the middle of the season that people are like, well, what's the whole point of this thing? If you're doing a cup in the middle, what are you going to win? Extra money? Like,
How many games do they play in the season? 160 something.
No, 82 games. Each team plays 82 games.
82? Okay.
Yeah.
Do it like football. Maybe a little bit more than football, but we don't need 82 games in the year.
You'll never, ever get them to cut down the season.
I understand that because of money.
Right.
However,
Exactly.
entertainment-wise, the entire normal season is nothing. It's pointless. It's boring. It's absolutely pointless to watch any of these until they get to the playoffs because that's when you actually have the teams that are trying to win.
Yes.
Now,
yes.
there should be no such thing as an MVP of the regular season because if you don't win the championship, you're not an MVP.
Case in point.
Second thing.
No, go ahead.
It's again.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
You're fine. It's just, I'm just saying, just when it comes to sports, it's so annoying because it's like, okay, for example, I've seen some of the games with, with the Warriors and the Lakers.
Yeah.
It's clear that the refs were like, you know what? Lakers need to go ahead and get some good. Because some of the calls were so
blatantly bad,
stupid. It's like,
yes.
Can you guys just go back to the 80s when the sport was actually a sport and it was rough and tumble, and if you tried to drive the lane, you were going to get a couple of
clothesline.
Never going to happen.
Clothesline. Yeah,
I know they're never going to do that, but it's just
right.
like that's why I don't watch sports now because it's like, dude, I legitimately watched them call like at least 10 fouls in 2 minutes on the Warriors. I'm just like, this. They didn't do anything.
They breathed on LeBron wrong. That's what they did.
And it's like, to me, if a player flops, that's a technical.
Yep.
You flop twice, you're gone.
Gone. Yep.
It's silly.
Yep. It is.
That's why I don't watch.
But that's
any
what it's
sports
still
nowadays.
about soccer.
To case in point to your MVP discussion, Game 7, Philadelphia and Boston, 2 former MVPs, regular season MVPs, absolutely no-showed for the Sixers, while Jason Tatum just took them apart. So
they're not valuable.
Yeah.
You can't man,
be.
I wish I
Exactly.
could remember what the heck freaking Roy Kent said about talking heads and freaking sports, man. I swear to goodness.
Uh-oh.
There we go. That's
Extra
right.
life.
People want more. People want more.
Minority Games, thank you for helping us keep our lights on. Appreciate you, bro.
buddy.
Thank you.
Thank
Appreciate
you, buddy.
that. So what were we gonna say? Laura Eyes 310 says I hate
it's
sports.
what's for dinner.
That's me.
Yes, I know that's you.
Is Dominic in the conversation though? He's like, yeah, they got robbed. He's following along. I totally blanked out. I'm sorry, fellas. I asked what the score was. That's how much I know.
Again,
Right.
I'm not a sports person. That's exactly why. Because modern day sports are just ugh.
Yeah.
To me, it's just the same old, same old. I know different teams win, but it's the same, and you have no control over it. But everybody who watches it, in their heart of hearts, feel like they have some kind of control over it, or who's going to win, and blah blah blah, and they're predicting this and doing that.
It's
and I'm
a
just
different
like,
type of fandom.
Yeah, I mean,
It's a
it's
fandom.
fine because it's their cosplay. They get dressed
Cosplay.
up, and they do.
No, he's
and they go to
absolutely
these
right.
events and they cheer other people. They wear other people's names on their back.
Jerseys
It's
and
like
whatnot,
dressing up
yeah.
like Naruto. Like dressing up like freaking One Punch Man.
Yeah.
You are being that character.
As long as you don't yuck
And
somebody
support it.
else's yum, you know.
Do
just
whatever you like.
Yeah.
And I used to play sports. I played basketball in high school.
I never seen this guy play basketball.
Yeah, you have.
Nuh-uh.
You went to that camp that we went to a long time ago.
That's
We were
one
playing-
time at band camp.
Yeah, we were
Just
playing
That was like
basketball
15
with
years
the
ago, hon.
Fetterling
You
hoods.
saw it though.
I saw him limp away from the court. That's what I
Injuries
saw.
happen.
Yo, that's hilarious.
Oh, man. I can't
That's what you
play.
get for playing with no shoes on, hon.
I mean,
yeah.
I don't.
Yo, that's
play,
funny.
I haven't played basketball in a very long time, but I played in high school, and
Okay.
I used to play a lot of basketball. I used to try to be a normie, and that's how I know I don't want to be one because it's just.
Hey, I said don't yuck. If people want to
I'm
be
not
normie,
yucking. I said I tried, and I don't want to
well,
do
the
that.
whole term normie is kind of, just
Why? It's just saying this is
Okay.
what people
Laura is in the
normalize,
chat,
and that's
said,
what they do.
I like when Jet did the praying mantis, and we're referring to which movie?
Forbidden Kingdom with Jet Li and Jack Chan.
Oh, Ken and Q, where are your other
That
halves?
movie that should have been completely different
Oh,
and gotten rid of everybody else except Jet Li and Jackie Chan.
So to answer Minority Games, I don't have another half.
They're single, ready to mingle.
I don't have
I don't know.
another half.
What about you? Do you have
I'm
another half?
single and I'm always mingling.
Right.
Oh, dang.
Yes, he is.
However, I'm not. I am one that is like the yoke is like way
Super
up here,
high. This
and
guy.
nobody else is going to be able to reach the yoke. So
Yeah, this
I'm
guy.
Very happy
So
with that arrangement.
I unfortunately, my other half, the other halves that I have had have also not been nerds. Now, one tried for a little while, I think she did it to get in my good graces, to try and learn how to be a nerd. Till eventually she was like, you know, I really don't like this stuff. But this was after she was ready to call it quits with me. That's when she brought it up.
You know, I had to really come to terms. I used to be like that. Like I'm into certain things.
Yeah.
Like I like Age of Empires. I'll play the crap out of that. I
Sure.
like I'm very particular. I like Street Fighter 2 Turbo from 1992. I don't like any other video games, but I can play Street Fighter 2 Turbo from 1992.
How do you get that particular about
Because
stuff?
I know the combos. I don't want to learn anything else. I know.
It translates.
So you like staying in your comfort
about?
zone. Okay, I
stay
get
in
it.
my comfort zone.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but when it was only until we started this, right? The Culture Junkies, and you guys were asking me like, what's your field? What's your this? And I'm like, I don't know. And it's like I'm comfortable with being a casual. This is the first time, and once I got comfortable with being a casual, the expectations. I'm not disappointing him anymore. I'm not disappointing my nerd friends anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not disappointing my normie friends anymore. But one normie thing I don't do, I'm not really into reality shows. I don't.
Oh, thank God, because those things are terrible. But you know what? Honestly, speaking to that, right? So I know Minority Games kind of brought this up, but you know, first of all, the dating scene right now is abysmal. Like it's terrible out here.
It's all digital. Swipe right,
yeah,
swipe
it's terrible
left,
out here,
you know?
right? But I'm
analog.
also out there, you know, holding out the hope that I want to be someone like Lori, where and Dido, where I'm not hiding. I used to hide being a nerd to basically to make myself look attractive. I don't want to do that anymore. I'm not interested in that.
Wait, did you just say I'm looking for someone like Lori and Dido?
No.
I'm just making sure I heard it right because it sounded like.
Okay, let me put it in the right context then.
Okay.
I want to be like what Lori and Daito were in that I don't want to have to hide who I am
No, you don't
from
have
my
to.
partner.
Don't
ever,
hide
right?
it. Don't hide
Don't
it.
hide nothing.
Don't
But
hide
at the
nothing.
same time,
To
I
be your
feel
true
like
self.
that is hurting me with prospects because they're like, oh, this dude is a complete nerd. I don't want to be into that. You know?
Okay, and again, and I also would like our other friends to join in on.
Yeah,
the
please.
conversation. We grew up in a time when being a nerd was supposedly a bad thing.
Yes.
We're not in that time anymore.
No, we're
sure
not.
We're not.
No, we're
Not
not.
at all.
We are completely
Right.
past that time.
Yeah.
And you and I went to the same high school.
Yep.
My nerdiness was on full display,
Yeah.
and I didn't.
We
This is
all
one of the
knew
things I
high
really
school.
admire about this guy, right?
So
He wore his nerd on the sleeve, but this dude was always dressed to the nines. So the girls was always hanging off of
there's
him.
always ways to have your nerdiness show.
Yep.
Again, that's why I make custom cufflinks because it's like,
Yep.
dude, I'm never going to give up that part of my personality as far as the nerdiness goes, but I'm also still going to be the person that dresses well and all
Mhm.
that. So it's like you can make it work however you want it to work. You just have to form it into what works for you.
Yeah, maybe I just haven't figured that part out yet.
Well,
I don't
first off, you're a solid person. And there's a lot of people out there who are very shallow. And the only way to get around superficiality, in my opinion,
What is he doing?
is
He's beginning to believe.
Thank you, Minority Games. Appreciate the
Oh,
night.
thank you,
Thank you for the resub.
Thank you.
another unsolicited advice. I know you didn't ask, but I'm giving it to you.
No,
anyway.
please.
So,
Go ahead.
okay, so my thing
She's
is,
hardly ever on the live, so when she's here, she needs to impart all her
You're like, get it
wisdom.
all in. Get it out. Come on, let's
Yeah.
go.
this is all
Yeah.
the times I've ever been on the show and I've never said anything. It's all coming
Right.
out. Blah, 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 it's all
Exactly.
coming out. No, I'm just saying, any kind of a relationship to tell the character of somebody, it takes time, you know, and that's the hardest part. Is you can meet anybody anywhere. You can go to events now that the pandemic's over. You can swipe right, left, up, down. I don't know, but I'm just saying meeting people is one part, but actually getting past the superficial is another. And the thing is, you're solid. You know, you're a solid person. I can vouch for you. If you need a reference, you know, you can put me on the thing.
What?
I'm just saying. I'll just say, like,
References
you're a
usually
solid
work
dude.
with,
You're a
like,
solid dude. You're a good friend.
Circle, not necessarily like, you know, this isn't a job interview.
It feels like it though. It feels like it though.
Yes,
What is
Fallen
dating
Marvel
other
said
than an
he's-
audition?
Fallen
My
Marvel said
God.
he's
I mean,
glad
for
he's not in
real.
the dating pool right now. He's 12 years out of the game. He's not looking back.
Hey man, I don't advise it. I really don't.
He's already married, so
Right.
he didn't have to worry about that.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
you
know.
talking
Yeah,
about
Fallen Marvel. Yeah,
Oh,
so
Fallen,
like,
yeah.
I wouldn't advise it. But look, we need to start the extra time. I think for
Oh
I thought
yeah.
we did.
start?
Yeah, he didn't.
Minority Games paid for our light
He
bill.
paid for it, but I don't think we
paid for our
started
light
at that
bill so
minute.
we can.
Well, that's just weird that it didn't. It's still not starting.
Yeah, still not there.
Whatever.
Oh,
we got a
wow.
clock right
Yeah,
there.
we got a
know
clock.
what time
Yeah.
it
We
is.
got a clock. We could see
All
it.
right, so hold on, Dominic and Laura. Y'all got awful quiet over there.
Oh dang.
I'm on the chat and he's listening, so talk to him.
Yeah.
Oh.
So Dominic, any advice to give to couples who have different passions and interests, whether they be nerdy or not nerdy? How could you like go out and how do you make it work in your opinion?
I just think it all comes down to communication and understanding. Somebody mentioned, somebody mentioned something earlier. I forgot what it was, but it's just kind of, that's all I can say. It's just kind of trying to understand the other person, their interests. You don't have to be into it. You don't have to like it. Just being yourself, like everybody. And it takes a long time sometimes to kind of come to that realization. But I don't know. That's kind of what we've tried to do.
You got a fan in the chat. Minority Games just cheered a whole nother 15 minutes.
Poor
And
Dominic.
another extra
Wow.
life.
Awesome. Appreciate that. Minority
Dang, that's
Games.
awesome, man.
So
All right,
actually,
now-
on that note, I am going to need to take a little bit of a break. So I will be right back.
All right, fine. Go ahead. I was about to ask something that was pertinent to you,
That's
but I
right.
will. Turn
I
it
didn't run you
towards-
out of here, did I?
No. I
Sure?
will turn it
Okay.
towards Lori and Dominic. Now, granted, you both have kids.
Oh yes, yeah. You guys have the
Now, I'm not
offsprings.
saying they're of dating age because I know that they're not, but I'm saying looking forward to the future. Are you guys not necessarily looking forward to that? Because I know as all parents, it's kind of a dreadful thing. But how things are going now, what do you think it's going to be like? I guess is the question.
Oof, I think our two kids, man, they're both have leadership skills, I guess, like is a nice way of putting it. They're very type A.
They're stubborn.
They're stubborn.
Awesome.
They negotiate. They're smart. God help me for having daughters, 2 daughters, 6 and 9.
Oh no.
Yeah.
If you ever need backup for when that first date comes around,
Oof.
give us a call because there's a group of guys down here that are very intimidating. And we will
Excellent.
love to sit down on that
Uncle
first
Dido.
date. Meet.
When I've already have this planned out. Like when the first date happens, he'll be the nice one. We'll play good cop, bad cop.
Uh-oh.
He's going to be the nice one. Hi, how you doing? What's your name? Oh, Kevin, nice to meet you. And I'm going to come out with a watermelon, and I'm going to write Kevin's name on it. And put it down and be like, what time are you coming back? Chop.
Wow. See,
9 o'clock?
Kenshiro messed that up because we had a plan when his firstborn was like, going to have her first date, and he didn't call any of us. It was like, dude, we had this all worked out. We was about to have 5-6 guys over there sharpening swords and cleaning guns. It was about to just be the most intimidating. It's like you wouldn't even want to walk into this room as a grown man, let alone a teenager, going on the first date.
Right.
He
I like
messed
it.
it all up. He didn't even call us.
So I'd be like, that's funny. This watermelon's name is Kevin, too.
At least it's a watermelon and not like a, like a doll
What?
or anything.
Marcus 664, you almost got the movie
I was like,
part
a
right.
what?
You almost got the movie reference right. It wasn't Marcus that was the problem. It was Mike. Mike was the one that went crazy and acted, all ridiculous when Marcus's daughter was having her first date with Reggie.
Oh, that's right.
You were close. Appreciate
Cantaloupe.
it.
Well, Cantaloupe was with the hairpin. I killed that one with the hairpin, but I have a slice and dice coming up on May 30th, where I'm going to be on iShow on Tuesday, and I'm going to just destroy a
That's coming
watermelon.
Oh, I
Okay.
can't wait. Gallagher
yeah.
style. That's going to be awesome. Rest in
Yeah,
peace
well,
to
actually,
Gallagher.
the Filipino short sword is the winner. I put up a few different weapons.
Oh, nice.
I had a sledgehammer on there. There was a sledgehammer. There was a cold steel, I have a giant machete, and then a Filipino short sword, and that one was the clear winner.
Ooh.
Bring put in there. I let people put in their own suggestions, and Bring put in a soup can and an athletic sock
Uh-huh.
because comedy. So I don't know. I might do that one too, just because it might be.
Wait. One cantaloupe or multiple?
No, we're just gonna do watermelon this time.
I'm sorry, watermelon. I'm sorry.
But
Multiple or
I
just
did
one?
another one. I'll probably just do one watermelon. I don't know. My Filipino short sword isn't the sharpest, so if it's not,
I mean, you
I'm
can
trying
fix
to think
that.
of a way that I can get it stable. If I can get it stable on a surface when I hit it, it won't fly off the surface. So I have to like probably spike it onto something before I do the cut.
Whetstone, about 600 grit. And probably,
yeah, you'd be all right.
Okay.
So Minority Games actually has a really good question out of the chat. He says, when your kids were younger, how did you and Dominic find time to be together? You and Lori, basically.
That was an interesting. So our first daughter, I won't bore you guys with the details, but she was born really early. She was born 3 months early. So she was a super preemie. She, basically fit in the palm of my hand.
Oh, wow.
And she came out with no issues. It's a miracle. But, it was really, really tough because we had to go to the NICU and Lori was always so exhausted. And Lori was spending a lot of time. She slept in the room with her for I don't know how long.
A couple months.
So it was a challenging time. Just kind of being through that. And it's really cool to talk about our interests now because we really put those on hold for the longest time. And kids, obviously, as everybody knows, who's got kids, change things. So it was a conscious effort to really try to spend time together and go out of our way to make time for each other and find common interests. And it was work. It was just a lot of work.
And then even after we can do things together now, like the kids are older and like watch things, but even through the pandemic, and then afterwards when we're here in Texas, it's like we never really had a chance to go out and do much together, just the two of us. Mm-hmm. So just the other night we were like, we're going to go out and you guys are going to go to Grandma and Grandpa's. And the older one was like, why? It's not your anniversary.
Like that's the only time y'all can go out and have fun.
Wow. Things, don't they? It's amazing.
So that just goes to show you it gets easier as they get older. But yeah, when they were young, it was like, it was all about them. And especially right in the beginning, making sure that Katie survived.
Yeah.
But we're finding out how important it is to really find common ground and things and spend time with each other. And now the kids are getting a little older, they're a little bit more independent. My folks are here. That's so important.
Finally, we get to go.
Yeah.
And like for Texas, because people are like, what's your favorite restaurant? And I'm like, I don't know.
We don't ever go out, so I can't tell you. Right? Yeah, we can't go out, so I can't even tell you.
Minority Games has another question. Dominic, how did you convince Lori to have another child? I need tips so I can convince my wife.
Wow.
Okay. I love kids, man. I'm still trying to convince her to have another one, but she won't.
She's like, nah, I'm done.
Done.
I don't even know if there was much convincing because the second one was almost like an oops, like we didn't really expect it to happen because the first one was such a challenge
for a long time.
And then it was just like, all right, well, I think
she wasn't an oops. She was planned. We were trying for her, but we didn't expect to get
no expectations whatsoever. And then when it happened, it was just a noodle scratch. It was like, what the hell just happened? It was amazing.
And it was so completely different than our first time around. It was so much easier. It was almost like, okay.
Right. Like this is what it was supposed to be like. Now, almost, right?
Like now he's like, hey, let's try for a third one. I'm like, get the F away from me.
Good. I've had one bad experience. I've had one good experience. Let's just leave it at that. Huh?
I don't want to start over on my sleep cycle. That's the thing is like, and especially with the comic book, I'm doing so much work. Like you would think like being at home and running just an indie comic book wouldn't be that time. It's so time consuming.
Oh yeah.
I thought I was going to have a day off today. Nope. I had to drive to go pick up comic books. I had to meet my publisher. I sold them some comics. I talked to some more people. I had to call an artist. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And then it was work on stuff, 3D print this and working on perks for the comic. And it was time to pick up the kids. And it's like, I was still working on stuff and talking to people. And I think time is the hardest part of what I do.
Yeah, I hear you, lady.
So I can't imagine putting a baby into that mix.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard when you work for yourself. Why work for someone else for 8 hours when you can work for yourself for 16, right? I mean, yeah.
It's funny that you say that because it is more time. However, every single day, even when I have stressful days, because people are people, and there's always drama, no matter what you do. And of course, there's drama in politics, in comics, which I wasn't expecting, but there is. And putting out fires, I think I put out 3 fires in one day.
Wow.
And I was like, man, this is still better than doing the job I was doing part-time, because that sucked so bad. So, you know, it's like today was hard, but it still wasn't as bad as working for that company.
No.
So
and that's why we do what we do here. I mean, how many what episode number is this?
This is 369.
369. So yeah.
All multiples of 3.
Wow.
Yeah. Giggity. No.
Giggity.
I don't know. Eli.
I just had episode 69 on my show.
Nice.
Congratulations.
Episode 369. What an accomplishment. That's huge, you guys.
I mean, we kind of cheated. Earlier in our careers, we used to do this multiple days a week.
Yeah, it was like every day.
So
yeah, we were really.
How is that cheating? That's an episode is an episode.
I mean, I guess. I guess.
It's not like we said, "Oh yeah, we're going to."
And honestly, that's not even counting how many episodes we did before the rebrand.
Yeah,
you know,
we did it on
there's
a
a
show.
whole bunch more episodes that we did before the rebrand. So
regardless,
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, according to, and I saw a interview with
Walking Dead, Dead City. What is that?
Isn't that a spinoff?
Please tell me that's another Netflix spinoff that they're gonna do.
Maybe.
Yeah.
No.
I
don't
can't
know
say
if
that.
Fear the Walking is about to is
excited
in this
for
last season.
Right. Oh wait, didn't they say they're gonna do a spinoff with Maggie? I think.
Yeah, Maggie and Negan.
Maggie and Negan.
Yeah.
I saw that. Yeah.
It needs to go bye-bye. It's time for it to die. The zombie show.
Yes.
Make a new one that's better.
Who here watches Tubi? Because Darian's been on this Tubi kick.
Okay, so did he show you the Coney?
He
showed you the Coney?
He showed me parts of the Coney. He showed me parts of the Coney. Yeah.
Oh
yeah,
man,
that sounds rated over. Yeah, did he show you the
101.
Coney? Yeah, he showed me parts of the Coney. Yeah, no, seriously.
Highlighted message. Ooh, Tiki.
So how do our guests feel? Oh wow.
How do our guests feel about Man of Steel?
So Lori ain't a guest. She doesn't count.
Dominic's a guest.
Dominic is a guest.
Dominic, how do you feel about Man of Steel?
And the Double Girl is a guest.
Yeah.
I guess is that a new movie or
No,
is
the
that,
film.
is that
The Zack Snyder.
the original?
Yeah.
No,
the thing
no.
about this Man of Steel movie.
Yes. It's his running gag.
Well, hey.
Was that the first one with Henry Cavill?
Yes.
Yep. Absolutely.
It's the only Superman movie that we
You
got
can
with
see how
Henry
much
Cavill.
he cares about it.
I mean, I liked Henry
doesn't.
Cavill as Superman. I
Yes.
thought he was good as Superman. I don't. The movie wasn't that memorable for me though, but I didn't think it was awful. I'm pretty neutral on it. I you know.
That's fair.
I wish Henry Cavill would be Superman still.
Yes.
Agreed.
I agree.
I don't see why they would.
I think
You know.
yeah. Because there's been just so much bad juju surrounding that whole franchise, they just wanted to restart.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
Takeem, I'll say it again, and I'll say it again next time. Man of Steel tasted a little too much like Batman. I didn't like it. You expect steak, and it tastes like chicken. No. So I didn't like the movie.
He didn't get fired. Head of Mega. He did not get fired from The Witcher. He quit.
He says, "You guys not gonna honor the source material. I'm out of here."
Right.
And they were like, "I think he's bluffing."
No, he was serious.
No, I'm out of here.
He was serious. He was
I
like,
don't
I'm
know,
out.
but see, Warner Brothers did him dirty though.
They did.
He left Witcher because of Superman, and then Superman basically got canned, and then it's like, okay, at least he's gonna do his Warhammer movie that he wants to do.
I honestly, Warner Brothers did him dirty. I think he was a casualty, and I'm gonna be straight up. I'm gonna put that on the Rock.
No, it's definitely on the Rock.
That's
no doubt.
that's
he was
Dwayne's
using
fault.
Every bit of Hollywood pull.
I think it's The Rock and Ezra Miller killed that franchise.
Oh, 100%.
The Rock
whole thing.
definitely.
Rock definitely killed him.
Lars, he's being a Lars Anderson.
Yeah, Rock
But
definitely
Ezra
killed him.
Miller's situation did not help, and those are the two things that are recent. So now everybody wants out.
True. Even though I am going to go see the movie because
I am too, and I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I'm
be
gonna go
mad
see
if
it.
I like it. I don't want to like it, but I'm sure it's gonna,
What is
I
the
feel
rise
like-
of a beast?
What?
We talk about Rise of the Beast. How much it's not gonna suck.
What is a Rise of a Beast?
Rise of the Beast is the new Transformers movie.
Oh yeah. He's getting the internet is telling him to say that it's gonna suck.
Dude, that movie looks sweet.
That movie looks great.
The fact that they are doing Unicron and it looks
looks awesome.
I was like, well,
I'm so.
What'd you say?
Graphics look good.
Oh no, absolutely. Yeah.
Wolverine Solid X. The young generation needs to listen to real hip hop instead of this crap. We
he's
sound
talking about
old.
Lil
You
Uzi
sound
Vert.
like
Yeah,
an
yeah,
old man.
We
He
are
does sound
old
like an old
people
man.
now.
I mean, granted, you like what you like,
Yeah.
and the new stuff is not for us. It's kind of like your parents didn't like the stuff you were listening to.
Yeah.
It's just admit you're old.
Yo, look at Minority Games' clapback. He was like, "You probably listen to Ice Spice on slow mode."
Oh,
That's a great clapback. I love that. That's awesome.
I don't get it.
Here's the thing: there is a lot of new music that is really, really bad. Just in the
It
regards-
may be. I don't listen to it.
Hand Omega again. This movie is so good, or you make you forget all the crimes of our leading star.
Again, I look at it from a creative side, from a production side. Ezra Miller isn't the only person involved in that movie. That's just how I look at it. I'm going to see the movie because
For the other people.
I want to.
Yes.
I want to see the film.
Right.
Yes.
Period. But it is not fair to all of those people that work for
Mhm.
6 months out of their life
Mm-hmm.
to go out to these various locations, film this stuff, build sets, do all of that.
Just because I got a
one
hate
idiot
burner,
is,
right?
is an idiot.
Yes,
It's like
I agree.
I'm still going to support the film because
I agree.
it's a film.
Right.
I have a
100%.
question.
Yes.
Lori, where can we find your show at?
Oh, I'm all over the place. It's called the Tuesday Morning Brew,
Okay.
or the Madness Tuesday Morning Brew. It's on a channel on YouTube called Comic Talk with Pops Van Zant. I'll put it in the chat.
Okay.
You follow any of my socials. It also simulcasts on my Facebook and the Path of the Pale Rider group, on my Twitter. It's on my Twitch channel. So it's Tuesdays at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm going to put all this in the chat, but that's also May 30th is when I'm going to be doing the watermelon destruction. So I'm going to put the YouTube channel.
I want to see that.
Watermelon destruction.
She said Filipino short sword, so I'll be there. So
Wow, you're so easy to please. I swear.
I just linked StreamYard to my YouTube channel as well, which has it's like 7 videos on it, but it'll stream there as well too.
okay, cool.
Or Comic Talk with Pops Van Zant.
Hopefully, it lets
And
you
then
put it in because it
What's
might.
that?
It has a
I'm
thing
not
about
doing the
posting.
at or the link. I'm just saying what it's called.
Oh,
Okay.
gotcha.
Hopefully.
That's a good
I
idea.
found
So
it.
Plus, we
I
got
know.
mods that can let it go by.
Yeah.
King to King, Batgirl needed a sneak release. That would be illegal for them to do so.
It would. That movie is going to stay buried forever.
Yep, they were.
We'll never see it.
Yeah.
Actually, Primo, I think I will do the sock with the soup
anyway.
can too. I think that's going to be my backup weapon.
What's your backup weapon?
This
Sock with the
soup can in the
filled soup
back.
cans.
Oh,
'Cause it'll be
Campbell's
hilarious.
bitches.
oh, okay.
Campbell's bitches.
Using the old school street. What was it called? That an old school street blackjack. Basically.
Yeah. So, this is as an aside. This is just news that was trending as of yesterday. So, in the comic book world, right now, there is an arc going on in Spider-Man that just very well may be one of the worst character arcs we've ever seen.
Okay.
Peter and MJ get sucked into this other world where this Mayan god wants to kill Peter so he can, have his way. MJ sends him back to his regular world, but 4 years passes where MJ is on this other world trapped with this other guy before Peter can get back to her. This happens in a matter of weeks. When Peter gets back to her, he comes back to find that MJ doesn't want to kiss him or anything, and she's in a relationship with this other dude, and they have a pair of kids. That they found.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
It's Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, but
With Janet.
stayed
Yes.
with Kang.
Yes. In a way, yes. So,
That's cheesy.
yeah. So they bring MJ back. MJ's like, hey, I know you trying to get back to me and all this other kind of stuff, but she's like, I'm still not going to leave him, Peter. I'm still going to stay with him.
So over the course of 4 years for her, weeks for Peter.
Yep. And he's devastated, and all this other kind of
Black
stuff.
Cat still is a thing.
Yes, and she actually has re-entered the picture. She and MJ are really good friends, and Felicia is like, "Hey, I kind of want to get Peter back," and MJ is okay with it because she's with Paul.
You know what? His name is Paul.
His name is Paul.
He's a Mayan god, and his name is Paul.
On that. Yes.
That's random as hell. I don't know a whole lot of Mayan people, but Paul is not the first name that comes to mind when I think of Mayan.
He just happened to be on that other world. That's all. I know there's something going on.
I want to
with
see this
him.
guy's passport and ID. That's got to be his middle name or something.
No, that's hilarious. But no, long story short, Peter's like destroyed his relationship with his friends in the superhero community because he stole from the Fantastic Four. He was doing everything he could to get MJ back, even working with Norman Osborn, who has been reformed, by the way. And
they're all over the place, man.
Yeah. It's all over the place. And then cap it off, in this latest issue, they killed Miss Marvel.
Which one?
Kamala.
Ooh.
Did we spoil anything for anybody? No.
Because you can't spoil
this
anything
is-
because Marvel themselves tweeted it out.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. All right.
It's in the comic book
They announced
world.
that next month they're going to have a special issue commemorating the loss of Kamala Khan, her death.
Oh, wow.
But this is comic books. She ain't gonna stay dead because she's about to be in a feature film later this year.
That's fine,
Well,
but
that's
no.
soap opera.
Oh, we have a special guest coming to Michigan.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
awesome.
yes.
That's cool.
Yes,
Hey,
it
we
is gonna be
love.
cool.
Can we get you here in person? In this?
Maybe.
Yeah, we already talked about that, so that's a possibility.
All right.
Yes, we did already talk about that.
Right. Okay.
So-
Alright.
We know Kamala's not going to stay dead forever, but everybody is like super up in arms about this recent arc for Spider-Man, and I have to agree. This is up there. This is pretty bad. This is about as bad as MJ and Peter's trading their marriage just to save Aunt May's life to Mephisto. They literally made a deal with the devil to take their marriage just so Aunt May can live.
Wow.
Let her die.
But Marissa Tomei is hot.
No, not that.
No.
Oh,
This is
this-
the comic
okay.
books.
Just
Yeah,
kidding.
like let her die. Like, come on. This is great. Anyway, I digress.
Hey.
This one's been a pretty bad arc. So if you're in the comic books,
Team said
do
they're gonna
that.
Man, if you love this
Director,
passion,
like-
tune in next week. What's our topic for next week?
Our
So-
topic next week.
Yes, so we will actually get to the next week graphic actually right now. Dominic, it's been great having you on. Thank you for being with us. Hopefully, if we find opportunities to do another group therapy, you can come back and be on the part of the show. 'cause
Dude, Dominic's
I think you've been
awesome.
great.
No,
He
absolutely.
helped
Yeah,
us pay
he's
our
been
light
great.
bill. Thank you so much, sir.
Appreciate Dominic and
Yep.
of course Lori.
I appreciate you having me on.
So next week is going to be a fun one. I have reached out to a film
was
critic
fun.
friend of mine, and
Oh yes.
he has agreed to be on the show to talk about film critics versus the fans, the mindset of a film critic versus the fans who watch the show.
Oh, bring it!
And also we're gonna be inviting Garrett from Grand Finals Gaming. He'll actually be back in the studio with us next week as well. So we got two guests coming on the show next week talking about films and film critics, and obviously how everything is going on with the writer's strike, but it should be a pretty fun discussion. So look forward to that. All right, guys, that was our show. That's going to do it for us today here on Culture Junkies Live. I want to thank all of our patrons for their support, and I want to thank all of you for coming and spending your time with us. Thank you especially to Minority Games for gifting us 2 extra lives today. Make sure you come back right here 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central for the next episode of Culture Junkies Live. Until then, for my friends, the Great Dadakuji, GQ, a double girl,
Hey.
Dominic, and Lori, I'm Kishiro. We'll see you guys later. Have a great week.
Bye, guys. Next week, fun time.
Tempura batter it, beer batter and cabbage and salsa. I added the creme fraiche. They said that's a great addition.
This is the
Yes. Hey, Will Sasso also.
Yeah, the
doing
Will Sasso impersonation
the Body
of Jesse Ventura was incredible.
Well,
It was absolutely incredible. You have to listen to it.
I'll give credit where credit is due.
I'll give credit where credit is.
He sounds exactly like him.
Yes, he does.
Exactly like him. It was awesome. It was awesome.
Dude, that-
Oh, showing
Who got new hair?
Hmm?
Where'd they buy it?
Somebody got new hair. Are we rating anybody or?
Yeah, we
is
should
somebody
No,
else?
I don't think. Well, let's see.
Well,